really quick update on just how things have been going. It is week 6, maybe week 7 of graduate school, and here we go. Things have really started to gear up for me now. I know research is picking up, just fatigue is picking up, feeling like I just have so much to do all the time and it just never stops. And I think part of it is because I'm still working, but I do feel like I'm always on. I think I said that in my last update, I'm constantly working. So midterms and writing 2 reports for work and being involved in 2 research labs, but luckily one of them I'm not doing a lot in right now. It's been a lot. But what's interesting to me is that although I'm doing so much, I still feel like I'm not doing enough. It's such a catch-22, or just the perils of graduate school. I feel like, everyone's like, yeah, take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, graduate school is self-investment and all this stuff, but yet, also work to death, and if you're not grinding 24/7, then you're doing it all wrong. And trying to balance, am I doing enough is always the question, and my answer to that question always feels like, no, I'm not. One of the things I struggle with is that I am very much like a dreamer. I'm very much a visionary. I know the impact that I want to make, and the details are kind of lost in translation. I have such big goals, but the steps in attaining them aren't always as clear. And for me, it's just okay, I feel like I lack direction despite knowing what I want my end goal to be. It's what should I be doing right now? Should I be, trying to author 20 papers, or, I want to be someone who's in communications as well. So should I be applying for some fellowship? I just always feel lost, and I feel like I have a lot of big goals and ideas and a lot of interests, but connecting them is very difficult for me. One of the things I love about my program and the degree itself, a PhD in counseling psychology, is very diverse. Very similar to clinical psychology. You can work in so many different places. You can research, you can teach, you can practice, you can consult and do workshops. You can do so many things in the realm of mental health and psychology, and that is something that keeps me going. But it's also I'm at a university in a program where there are really, really phenomenal people. People doing things that are just wow, I want to be like that someday. It's very aspirational and super inspiring, but it's also you start to feel do I belong here? Or did I do everything right? Because I feel I just got lucky or something. Anyways, yeah, week 6/7 has really hit me with just this overwhelming feeling of that I'm not doing enough. And it's really hard, I think, because I had a vision of what graduate school would look like and be like, and who I would be in graduate school in this program. I imagine myself just joining, these clubs, getting involved with APA and the different divisions, continuing with APHA, which is American Public Health Association. I saw myself thriving in this really big way, and I also saw myself living and working and experiencing all of this in person in the city. And being here in North Carolina, I don't know, doing work from the bedroom that I literally grew up in, since I was maybe 4 or 5, it's a weird experience. I feel it's hard for me to feel I'm thriving in the way that I want to when, I'm still at home, when everything's online, and when honestly I do feel pretty isolated sometimes, or a lot of the time. People told me that getting a PhD is a very isolating experience. Only so many people get PhDs, and everyone's PhD journey is so different, and it's incomparable to a lot of other experiences, even medical school or law school. It's different, and I feel I definitely have people to talk to, other students, but we're all so busy. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I think in these weeks, what I'm struggling with the most is having so many pursuits and passions, like the YouTube channel, growing my Twitter, where I'm, constantly stirring things up, and my schoolwork, and then I have my work and my 2 research labs, and Black and Mental Health organization, and I'm also in the works of founding another organization. I'm doing a lot, but it doesn't seem like it's having the impact that I want it to yet. And part of that is feeling like I can't commit as much as I would like to all of these different things that I have going on. And in this program, and in a lot of clinical programs, you'll find that people say your first year is where you should overload and where you should do the absolute most, I guess, for your coursework, because next year is when I start seeing clients, and so I'll have that additional responsibility, and that is one that you can't let slip. That is a priority. And so it's how do I thrive in all these different buckets that I'm in, instead I'm just feeling like I'm failing at all of them. And maybe it's just because this is midterms right now, and I was a little bit stressed about my statistics midterm, because it's hard for me to care. It's so bad. We're doing probability stuff right now, and conditional probability, and Bayes' rule, and binomial distributions, and covariance, and variance, and coefficient correlation. Okay, wait, that stuff is actually important. Anyway, it's hard for me to get into the mindset of, yes, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch 3 hours worth of statistics videos, and then I'm going to do the homework, and then I'm going to do the quiz, and then I'm going to do the practice midterm A, and then I'm going to do practice midterm B, and then I'm going to take the midterm. It's so much. So yeah, maybe I'm just in a weird mood right now, because so much of my time has been dedicated to that, and it's hard for me to see how that's having a big impact on me. I don't know. But yeah. The thing is, I like what I'm doing. If I had to do anything else, I don't know what I would be doing. I want to be here, and I think that that's always how I look at it. It's not that I've ever thought about dropping out or anything like that, but sometimes I do think it's would I want to be doing anything else right now? Because I'm all about liberation. I know that I've had this plan for myself for so long. I always want to just check in with myself and make sure that, everything's going well, and it is. I'm happy to be here. I want to be here. I don't see myself doing anything else right now. It's just I want to do more within the things that I'm already doing. I want the YouTube channel to grow exponentially, and I want my organizations to flourish. I want to get involved in so many different areas of research. I also want to start, doing things more on the communication side. I'm oh, I need to develop these graphics. Oh, I need to update my website. Oh, I need to, read these personal development books. Oh, I need to go get my life coaching certification or things like that. It's so much going around in my head that I'm not overwhelmed by what I have going on. I'm just overwhelmed by I'm not even overwhelmed. I'm just awestruck at the possibilities of where life can take me. And I think that's a very normal 20-somethings feeling. But, I always want to have a plan. I always want to feel like I'm on top of it. I think that that's been one of the most interesting things about my experience thus far, and I journal so much, and it helps me keep track of where my mind is at and where it's gone and where it's going. But I think that I remember writing so many times, I thought getting into graduate school was the big hurdle that I would apply, and I applied and I didn't get in, and then applied again and got in, and I was okay, finally, I have something to hold on to. I have certainty. I'm working towards, a goal. But in reality, I don't know, I feel more uncertainty now that I have entered the program, because you're just exposed to all these different possibilities, and it's very exciting, but it's also, it can be kind of daunting, because you're just am I doing the right thing for me? Especially because I feel like my path is going to be something that's very innovative. I think that it's going to be something that I create myself. I do have a passion for psychology and public health and policy and communications. And it's like, how do I mesh all of those different interests together into a way that's coherent and impactful and influential and groundbreaking? Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to change the world with these ideas and these passions that I have. And since nobody else has necessarily done it the way that like I want to do it, it's kind of figuring out this path for myself. And that's an isolating experience in itself. Like, you know, it's not like I want to go and get like a tenure track position at a university and maybe, you know, see clients on the side or something like that. It's like, I want to do something completely new. I want to have a television show. Shout out to Ayanla Van Sant. But I do want to have a television show that can bring, you know, the research to the community. I want to make things accessible. I don't know, I can talk about this forever, but when I think about it and when I think about how I feel like it's never been done before, it invigorates me and it excites me, but it also scares the heck out of me because I'm just like, how am I gonna do this? And am I really, I don't know, is my purpose something that I can actually fulfill? Like, what I feel like is my calling, is it reasonable for someone like me? I don't know. I hope that it is. I feel like God wouldn't have placed these desires into my heart if it wasn't something that was going to be achievable for me. But at the same time, you know, there's definitely a fear there. There's always a fear that I'm going to fail at doing these big things, and a fear of putting myself out there and even speaking these ideas into existence, because fear of judgment, and then fear that, yeah, I can't do it, that I'm not good enough to do these things that I want to do. This week has just been filled with so many conflicting feelings of feeling like I'm in the right place, but also feeling like I'm not good enough to be here, and feeling like I'm doing the right things and doing a lot, but also feeling like I'm not doing enough. And then, you know, like that saying, like being like too much and not enough at the same time. It's like, it's how I feel right now. And I hope that those feelings are normal. My therapist says they're normal. But yeah, it's a journey of discovering your passions. And graduate school, it's hard because it seems like everyone has their passion figured out so easily and readily. And I feel like I'm putting the pieces together, but I feel like there are things that I'm going to experience along the way that are really going to mold my path and what I'm meant to do. But either way, I hope that it's impactful. That's this week's update. I hope that you enjoyed me just blabbing about my internal conflicts. If anyone wants to psychoanalyze me, feel free. But no, anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all next week. Don't forget to subscribe.